All right. So moving on into our rig template. So before we really start going on here, I want you guys to be able to see the structure that we're going for. Of course, you can just go for it, right? You can just go forward, go crazy without seeing that structure. But I think it helps to have this, and then you can reuse it for different projects, okay? So what am I doing here with the rig template? So we're going to basically plot out how many pieces we're going to have and how all of these things are hooked up together. First thing we want to do is check our preferences. So let me go into Harmony, get that started, and start a new file. So I'm going to call it rig template TMP demo. Okay, that's for our purposes. Create the scene. All right. I have this default view and all that stuff that we're used to seeing. So in order to change my settings, I'm going to go up to Harmony Premium. If you look at other tutorials that are not using the Mac version, they're going to say something different. This is the Mac version, okay? So Harmony Premium, I'm going to go to Preferences. The first window or the first tab that comes up is your General Preferences. Make sure that you have Focus on Mouse Enter checked off, because it's a pain in the butt to click in every single panel that you want to use. This just follows your mouse and makes where your mouse is the active panel. Super nice. Please, for the love of all that is good, turn on autosave. Oh my God. Maybe you've changed computers. Maybe you installed it on your own computer. Please check that you have this. I don't want you to lose your work. Please do it. I'm gonna yell it from the rooftops. Do it. Okay. Also, make sure we have default separate position for pegs. We already have that turned on. We're also going to look over in advanced, and the one we want to check off here is element node animate using animation tools default value. I know that sounds really crazy. Essentially, it sets it so that you cannot transform drawing nodes. Okay, you have to use a peg. This just makes it so you don't accidentally move stuff, okay, when we're doing this. We don't want to accidentally move stuff. All right, you're going to hear some laughter in the background. I'm doing this in the morning. It's the only time I have. All right, so, okay. So we have our settings ready to go. All right, I already mentioned that. So we're going to add some drawing layers, and by some, I mean 30. Okay, before we import our model, let's create this template. Okay. So I already made my scene, and now I'm going to make my drawing layer. So a real easy way to create a new drawing layer is Command R, and make sure that line and color are both vector. So I'm going to come over here. I already have one drawing going on. All right, I'm going to add 30 drawing layers. Don't be alarmed. All right, Command R. I have more of these art layers on. We're going to turn them on later. Don't worry about it right now. Don't worry about it. Okay, so I'm going to add 30 times. So you can count it on the timeline. You can see it. So here we go. Okay, so I have my 30, and I'm just going to say close. Wasn't too bad, right? Wasn't too bad. Let's see. All right, so we're going to work mostly in node view for this. So we want to make sure our node view is nice and big. So I'm going to extend the screen, close that other window. And right now we're looking at all 31 drawings stacked on top of each other. Probably not what we want. So I'm going to select them all, and then I'm going to click on Order Node View Up. This will make it so that it's easier to look at, okay? Isn't that pretty? It looks like a nice peacock fan. But that's really not what we want going forward, even though it looks nice. So there's a couple things I need to do first before we get moving on this. All right. So first of all, I'm going to look at my composite layer. Everything is attached to this composite layer. That's because it's putting all these pieces together to show it in the view. Okay, but I don't want them all hooked up right now. I want to rearrange this. So instead of just pulling off all of these like one by one, I'm just going to say Command X on that composite. Boom. And now they're all gone. I also want to unhook the right and display. We don't really need these guys. Probably not ever for what we're doing right now. Okay, and then I want to paste that composite back in. Awesome. When we're working with composites here, we're going to use these nodes to help group our stuff together. So we want to change a setting on here. So I'm going to click on this yellow box so that I can get into the layer properties. I'm going to change the mode from as bitmap to pass through. And when you do that, you should see the composite node become a trapezoid. So that just shows that, hey, we're just using this to gather things together. Things are just going through. This is not the final composite node. We'll create that one later. So I'm going to say close, and we'll leave that right there for now. All right, the next thing I want to do is, as beautiful as this peacock shape is, we need to put everybody in a straight line. Okay, so I'm going to start doing that. You will find that these will snap in line with each other, which is super nice. If you don't like that, well, I guess you can turn it off. I'm not sure where, but it's nice. Okay, this may take a minute. Hold on. You may feel free to sing I've Got a Lovely Bunch of Coconuts as we do this. Big one, small one, all right. I have them all standing in a row. D, D, D. All right. So stay tuned for the next step. I'm going to close this video and we will start naming all of these. Thanks for listening.